Okay. Doing an experiment. I ran the water yesterday on the septic tank in that cleanout cap up there by the house. Kind of try to flush out some of the gunk that's plugging it up, and for the most part all it did was create a cavity at the top of the pipe where it goes in because it kind of leaks out. But anyway, so it doesn't have a good seal down here. So I ran the water this morning while I was chopping up that tree, chopping down and chopping up. And now I'm doing a different experiment. I ran the water to create another cavity. Okay, you can't really tell yet. And I already put 8 pounds of baking soda. Hopefully my phone don't fall in the crap. Should be fine. This is my brand new phone. I gotta be careful. But anyway, I'm curious what this will do. I'm pouring baking soda and vinegar down the line. So I'll be back. I'm gonna go pour another 4 pounds. I poured 8 pounds of baking soda down the line and a gallon of vinegar. So now I'm gonna go another 4 pounds of baking soda and another gallon of vinegar. I don't know if it's gonna foam up down here, foamed up there, but I'm curious what it's doing down here. So I'm gonna leave that here. I'll be right back. So it don't look like it did anything down here, but it's, well, I don't know. I don't know what came out, but I'll find out when I review the video. But anyways, yeah, I flooded this yesterday. But anyways, like I said, I was creating a cavity in there so that when I do pour this vinegar and baking soda, it will rest in that cavity, and hopefully maybe it'll help eat up whatever's plugging up that hole. So eventually I'll get it figured out. Also, that's where the water line came in to the mobile home that was here from over there. So our plans are, if we end up keeping the place, we're trying to, but it may not work out the way we plan. I think the odds are 75% in our favor, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so that's where the water comes up from the well house to where the mobile home used to be here, George and Valerie's mobile home. There was electricity ran in here too. I'm not sure where the main power came in at, but it had to have been over there somewhere. So I got to locate that because I'm assuming it came in from that pole over to here. But I could be wrong. It's hard telling. But yeah, so the power comes in to this pole, burnt up pole. There was, I guess, one of the campers that was here caught on fire a couple years ago. Burned up some of these trees. We're not sure if they were cooking meth or if it was an electrical fire or what. Because I was originally thinking it was an electrical fire. Because of this. You can see that burn mark there from where the electricity was possibly ran over here, or it ran over to the mobile home, or the camper. Don't know. So either it was electrical fire, or maybe they were cooking meth. We don't know. Turns out, well, we kind of already knew that the kid that was here used to have a meth problem, quote unquote, but didn't anymore, quote unquote. But now we believe that everybody had probably a meth problem or, some kind of drug problem. And so now we have more of a, I wouldn't say concern, more of a inclining that possibly it was their nephew cooking meth here on the property. But we don't know. It's all speculation. Nonetheless, burnt the pole, burnt these trees, and it burnt whatever power line was going to that shed. Because this power box basically goes to the mobile home up there, and it goes to the shed. I personally think they just half-assed did the electrical, running electrical wire over here to the camper. That was my professional opinion. But we have reason to believe that there might have been other circumstances. But there was a propane tank here, and it kind of was half-assed, ran over here to the camper too, so it could have been a propane fire. Who knows? We don't know. Because the neighbor said the propane tank blew up and it was loud. So, who knows what happened? But nonetheless, meth, propane, electrical could have been one of the three. So that's why that pole's burnt. And that's why the trees are burnt. So that's more work I gotta do. If I get the property. If we get the property. But, like I said, it's looking like everything's in our favor. But we won't know till we go to court next week. So, at least next week we'll have a better idea of what our chances are. And what our next step is going to be. So, meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out the septic issue. But nonetheless, the water comes in over there. So I'll have to have our pump guy troubleshoot this and see, because the valve's open, but there's no water coming. So they probably pinched it off or disconnected it inside the watershed. So what I'll probably do is have my pump guy reconnect it, but have a shutoff in there, so that eventually I can probably hook something up here again. My original plan was to box this in and turn it into a storefront to sell things. But now I don't even know if I really want to do that anymore. But we can still box it in and turn it into something. So, and we could still have like a bathroom and a kitchen over here, have the drain there, have the water there, and have the electrical wherever it comes in. And Laura, we're talking about putting Laura's camper where this other camper was. Maybe closer. I might have to clear out more trees. You know, we might even just put it right here, because there's the clean out, but also a potential camper drain to the septic. And that one, actually, I put water down there and it just flowed and flowed and flowed. So that bypasses this plug, whatever this plug is. It bypasses that and goes straight into the septic. So this thing here, this is plugged up, but that pipe, I believe, goes around here and straight into the septic tank. It bypasses this. So, because when I was running water and it was backing up, it was wet right here. But I know the septic's not uphill. Can't be. Because I think I'm pretty sure George tapped into the original septic tank. And the original septic tank would have to be downhill from the house that was over here originally. So the septic tank has to be downhill over there or over there somewhere. But I can't find it yet. But anyways, right now I'm working on unplugging this plug. So I tried baking soda and vinegar this time. And I've already put a yeast blend down the pipe, but I don't think I put enough, because what I put down the pipe was your general once a month maintenance stuff. But I think what I need to put down is like a lot more, you know, because we're not doing maintenance, we're doing an unplug. So I'll let this eat at this for 2 weeks or whatever. And then next time I'm home, I'll whoop up a big batch of the yeast blend and dump it down the tube. And hopefully maybe that'll eat up whatever's in there. And then if that don't work, then I'll go back to my snail idea and put more snails in there. And they'll potentially eat it all too, but it'll take a little longer. But if we get the property, then we might just hire somebody to come out and just unplug it. And then it'll work. We'll hire somebody to come out and unplug it and fix it right, instead of half-assed jerry-rigging shit like the last people did. They half-assed did a lot of things on this property. So anyways. So yeah, I'm working on that. So I just cut down another tree that's a dead tree. It was in the way of whatever. And I got another tree up there that's leaning towards the house, 2 of them. But I got a live one and a dead one. So I want to take the live one out first because the dead one will fall in the direction of the live one. So I'm gonna go up and piece the live one out in like 3 or 4 pieces. I have to climb it. And then the dead one, I'll probably still climb it, but I'm gonna take it out in 2 pieces. But like I said, it's gonna fall in the direction of the live one. So I gotta take the live one out first and then do the dead one, because the dead one's a lot sketchier. I'm not gonna climb as high in the dead one as I will in the live one. I'll climb about halfway, and then I'll chop the top out of it, and then I'll drop the bottom. But so right now, just focusing on what has to be done, what needs to be done. Things that aren't going to cost me a lot of money. I mean, this here cost me like $50. Let's see. 3, 6, 9. So 10. About $20. Cost me about $20. So, so we'll see if it works. If it don't work, then the yeast option probably didn't cost me as much. It cost like $1 or $2 per yeast packet, and I got like a dozen. So yeah, it's about $20, $25 worth. And then I already got the sugar. So it's just sugar, yeast, and water. So you not boil, but you have lukewarm water, you add sugar, and then stir that up, add the yeast. You don't have to stir it up, but I think you should. And stir that up, let it set up. It takes about, I don't know, 15 minutes. Then pour it down the tube. I'm going to make like a 5-gallon bucket of this stuff and pour it down the tube. But yeah, I'm going to try that in 2 weeks, and we'll see what happens. My poor Dakota is retired. I've had that truck for 20 some years. About 21, 22 years. Overall, it's been a pretty good truck. It's been such a good truck that I bought another one, but it was a lemon. So, I'm just tired of putting money into these older trucks. I've got 4 of them that don't run now. And I got that 1994 Dodge Ram that's compatible with the 4 Dodge Dakotas that I have. So, what I think I'm going to do is just going to retire this Dakota for now. And then once I get the Chevy paid off, then what I'm probably going to do is retire the Ram and go get a hybrid SUV. And then that'll kind of replace this truck, because this truck has the camper shell and I use it kind of like an SUV. So I'll get a hybrid SUV. I've always kind of wanted to get a hybrid. I'll get a hybrid SUV, and that'll replace this Dakota. And then I got a mechanic friend. I'll probably take all 4 of the Dakotas and the Ram to him and have him beef up the Ram with either the bigger motor from one of the other Dakotas, or maybe fix up that other Dakota that's got the bigger motor but doesn't have a transmission because it blew the transmission. And basically just use all these other Dakotas and this Ram for spare parts. So either I'll have a beefed up Ram or a beefed up Dakota. And then I'll just have that as an extra backup pickup truck for one of my Chevys in the shop. So, yeah. And from now on, I'm only buying cars or trucks that are endorsed by the Car Wizard, I think he goes by, on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, I think he's called the Car or Auto Wizard, something like that. He's over in Kansas. And what he does is he kind of gives you a list of all the cars to buy and not to buy. And basically, you know, it's all the best cars. He only lists like the best cars and the worst cars. So, you know, the ones he don't list are in between. So they're still neutral. They're still good cars, but they're not the best. So he only does the best and the worst. And so that's what it, you know. So I'm only going to be buying cars now that are on the best list, on his best list. And the Chevy is on the list, but I bought it 2 years too new, I think, maybe 3. I think 06 was the newest year he suggested buying, and this is an 09. So 3 years, I was 3 years off, but it's a decent truck. But it's not on the do not buy list, so it's okay. But if I would have bought an 06 or older, it would have been better. So he did say a 2016 Nissan Titan are good. So if you wanted a new truck, that would be the way to go. He likes all Toyotas. Everybody always says everything good about Toyotas, except for a few things. Their frames tend to rust out, and I think they have ball joint issues. I can't remember, but I got a friend who loves Toyotas, and basically that's what he said. You got to watch the frames. I almost bought a Toyota, but the frame was all rusted out, and I tried to cover it up with some black goop, and I caught it, and I was like, it's a good truck, but you know, it's like, it's a good truck with bad bones, so you really can't operate a truck with bad bones. I mean, you might be able to you know, do a compact car with bad bones because it's not going to do a lot of work. But, you know, you can't do any heavy duty work with a truck with bad bones. So the frame was all fucked up, and you can't work with that. So if the frame was good, it would have been a good truck. But anyway, this truck, it's got a perfect frame. It's got a lot of potential. It's just nickeling and diming me to death. And so I'm just like, whatever, I'm done. I'm done trying to cripple it along. And so it's been my baby for 20 years, but I gotta let it go. Just like my domain name, truckerday.com, I've had that for over 20 years. And it's not making me any money, so I gotta let it go. So it's up for sale now too. Oh, it's not yet. It will be next week. I'm in process of doing the transfer to the website where I'm planning on selling the domain name. So I'm finally letting that go. I'm liquidating anything that's not making me money, and I'm putting it in my dividend stocks. Anything that's costing me money or not making me money, anything that's basically a liability, I'm selling it or retiring it, and I'm putting the money into my dividend stocks. And then once I got money coming in on my dividends, more money, I've only got 1 month. I only got 1 month worth of income coming in for the whole year. So I got to get that up to at least 6 months income. But I'm hoping to have 3 months income by this time next year. At least. So I'm working on that. Once I replace my income, then I can play around with liabilities, or whatever, you know, like cars, you know. That's when I'll take the four Dakotas and the Ram and see if I can't, you know, get one really good vehicle out of it, maybe even 2, because one just needs a transmission. That's it. The Ram runs, but it has no balls. because it's got a V6 in it. And this thing has more power than the Ram does, but I can't keep it running. You know, so what I might be doing is basically just fixing this one back up and fixing the other one up that is kind of a lemon. And I got all these parts, so it won't matter really. I mean, I pretty much replaced, I put $10,000 in that other Dakota. And it's a nice Dakota, but the transmission then went out, and I'm like, well, crap. So, like I said, if I just take all these vehicles, put them into one vehicle, that green Dodge Dakota is probably the best one out of all of them as far as comfort and niceness. This one's been the best as far as reliability goes. Then the other two that I have on the land, they're just parts trucks. Both of them I'm still trying to get the titles to. I'll never probably have the titles to them. And but this one here, I've got a few grand into it, and the other one I had like 10 grand in it. And the Ram, I only got like a couple grand in it. So if I could take all 5 of them, and make one really good one, then that'd be cool. So, anyways. But it's just going to pretty much just be a backup truck. I'm going to try to get something more newer. If the Chevy goes bad, then I'll just get something more newer, but I'll get something on that list. So the Car Wizard, I think, is what his YouTube and Facebook username is, and he's over by Wichita, Kansas somewhere. I forgot exactly where. But one of these days I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna have him print me out a list of all the cars to buy, and then that way I'll have it on paper. Right now I've just kind of been watching his videos, and I've been documenting everything I can, but I'm sure I missed some videos, so there's missing information out there that I would like to get. So I'm gonna go visit him one of these days and get the information from the horse's mouth on paper, and then that way because basically my next vehicle is going to be a hybrid SUV. So I want to go to him and say, hey, which hybrid SUV is the best one to get? Which one should I buy? And that's the one I'm going to get. So anyways, all right, I got to go take care of legal stuff. So I got to change and get ready to roll. Oh, yeah, real quick. Here's the clean out cap up here. So luckily I have this. I can put stuff down the tube up here into there, and hopefully it works out. So we'll see. But they didn't seal the deal down there, so it leaks, which in some ways is a blessing, because otherwise it'd be all the way backed up to the house. So anyways, all right, party on.